3D printing is really cool, but it's not terribly fast. So here's a little part that I did a little while ago to work as a cable pass-through for various sci-fi things. The part is printed with a 1/2-inch NPT thread. We have the tap for that one, so we can just drill through our MDF, tap it out, and then screw these guys in. And we have a nice sciencey looking way for a cable to go into something and be visible but still be cool. But we need a lot of these, and they took a couple hours each to print. First try was we did a silicone mold of it, and we had some limited success with that. With all the threads in that, it was very difficult to accurately get the mold going. It's difficult to make a mold of something that has that pass-through or that stem. So I took that same model in Fusion and made a mold out of it that we 3D printed. This is the version 1, and we did have some limited success with this one, and in doing this I kind of learned some other things that I should put on future iterations. Mark figured out we needed to have some kind of a gasket on here, so that's like rubber cement improv gasket around there. We've got some more stuff to make sure that all of our liquid resin doesn't leak out. So this guy is designed to 3 parts, so that it all bolts together. You pour your resin in there, and once that's cured, you can unbolt it, bottom will pop off, and then these sides will separate around the threads so that you're not trying to pull a solid thing off of the cast threads. Having a few improvements I want to do in this one, I started making version 2, of course, because I'm always iterating stuff. I started this one, we got the first of the 3 parts. The second one failed in printing because I was using some very rubbery stuff and did not have adequate support in the print. Looking at this one, my track around there, it was going to have a gasket. It wasn't quite the right size. I did the perimeter math pretty well, but in forcing the gasket down there, it wanted to stretch out a little bit, so it didn't quite fit. That was getting sloppy. So I made a third one, which will hopefully work. And I think by the time I'm finished with this little talkie 2, we'll pull out of that chamber pot right there and see if any of this was worth it. Because whereas it took 2.5 hours to print one of these, printing an entire mold, like the big part was an overnight, like 9-hour, each other parts are like 5 or 6 hours for each other mold half. I'm probably way past, it would have been worth it just to print each individual of these, but we have a new technique of 3D printing molds, I think. I'm going to find out right after this cut. Do it. Well, it's still in there. This is going to be thrilling footage. 9/64.
That's wrong size.
7/64. 9/64. I even marked it. Yeah, it's right there. It says 9/64. All right, moment of truth, part 1. Didn't fill all the way.
Yeah.
Just not enough material.
Oh, it's sealed.
Yeah.
Can you extract that?
Well, this wasn't the fun eureka moment I wanted for film, but it's probably going to be more educational.
This is why we show our mistakes.
I'm not showing him this. I look like a freaking idiot. Totally showing you this. Well, the mold gaskets all worked. There we go, it's starting to come. There we go. Aw, damn. I think I may have pulled a little bit of the mold out. I got the little fake hex nuts in there.
You know, this resin was pretty old. You feel it? How rough it is? It might have aerated a little bit, even with the pressure pot.
Mm-hmm. It fit together so pretty. Possible problems. 1, we just didn't add enough resin. It looked a little short. 2, this was really old resin that's been sitting in the baking Texas hell summer. But all of the fitting stuff, like that gasket right there, that all worked perfectly. There was no flow out from there. And I've got some other gaskets built into this half. And if I end up reprinting this, I may add some other smaller gaskets around these screws, because that may have been a leak point. The pore hole and vent need to be bigger. All right, I'll see you at version 4.
The fourth one
Stayed up. Okay, so I apologize in advance for all of the noise, but it's 109 degrees in Dallas, and I'm not turning the fans off. So we made a couple of quick fixes. Mostly I just drilled out the vent holes a little wider. Actually, that's all I did. It's not mostly. I just drilled the vent holes out a little wider. So we're gonna see if that did it. It's in here, so you'll know when I do. Or actually, I'll know, and then we'll record it and edit it and then put it out. So by the time, yeah, never mind. Nine 64ths, not 7/64ths. That sounded good. Felt pretty good. So we're not out of the woods yet. There we go. It shouldn't take too much cleanup. This is how I inevitably cut a slice out of my fingers. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on the threads.